This can... Awesome. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Helen, Cassie, and Karen. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey there.
How's everyone doing? So good. Awesome. So while we're waiting for everyone to roll in, why don't we just start introducing ourselves a little bit? I'm Susanna. I'm the Hydroponics Partnerships Manager and the marketing manager as well. And yeah, so I mainly just handle communications between teachers who are interested in our hydroponics program and then meet with them, tell them a little bit about our program. So some of the information here I've given in presentations many times, and then handle the marketing material. So the emails you receive and social media and all that, among other, yeah. And Chris, I'll let you introduce yourself.
All right, cool. I'm Chris Anderson. I'm the Hydroponics Program Manager. So I'm the person who interfaces with schools with their hydroponics program throughout the course of their implementation. And I've been with Green Our Planet for coming up on 3 years. And I used to be a teacher. So I know how you all are feeling right now.
Awesome. And is Gabby here yet?
Looks like maybe she's coming in. Hello, welcome.
Hello.
Hi, hello.
Welcome.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, Gail.
Hi.
Oh, there's Gabby. I think I heard her. Come on.
Yeah, Gabby's here.
Gabby, do you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Oh, sure. Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Gabby Prato. I am the School Garden Program Manager at Greener Planet, and it's a pleasure to meet you all. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, Chris, can I get you to keep an eye on who's coming in and then admit them? Are you able to do that?
Yes, I believe I am. Let me look here real quick. No, yeah, I think you have to make me a co-host. Can you do that?
Yes.
Do that, and then I should be able to see it. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what I'm going to do real quick, how do I change views? There we go. So real quick, with the people that we have here, I'm sure more people are rolling in, but I just want to know, just get a show of hands, how many of you are familiar with these programs and have already applied to the hydroponics or school garden program?
Just one. Just one.
Okay, we have two.
Two.
Okay. And so the rest of you, okay, you too, Kelly?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So the rest of you, it seems like you must have stumbled upon the website or stumbled upon the grant in a different way, and you know nothing about the programs. Is that correct?
We have a school garden here that was started by you guys several years ago, and then it just kind of fell in disarray over the last few years with COVID, and then we had a change in admin. And so really what we're looking to do now is just kind of revitalize it at this point.
Okay, awesome.
Perfect.
I think we can help with that. Yeah, with our GardenConnect program, definitely can help out with that one. And so yeah, good to know. So we know how much we need to dive into each one of the programs. And I will start presenting. So can everyone see my screen okay? Can I just get a thumbs up? All right, or a nod. Thank you. So we have 45 minutes for this, a little bit less than that now, about 40. And this is what we're going to go over in this time. So it's kind of a lot, and feel free to stop me if you have any question, or just drop the question in the chat, and then Chris or Gabby can let me know. Just stop me. But basically, we're going to cover Greener Planet as a whole. Who are we? What's our mission? The Hydroponics STEM program in its 5th edition, our Outdoor GardenConnect STEM program, our Farmpreneur program, our accredited curricula, our hydroponics programs in Alaska, the teacher trainings we offer, our virtual academy, the garden grant options, the grant process and how to apply, and then we'll get all of your questions answered. So starting off, some background with Green Our Planet. Who are we? So we teach students to love and care for our planet through comprehensive school garden and hydroponics programs throughout the United States. And we see gardens as a portal for understanding both life on Earth and our place in the universe. We were founded in 2013 in Las Vegas. And in the short time, we now run one of the largest garden hydroponics programs in the United States. And we serve students and teachers from Alaska to Florida. So many of us are teachers or are former teachers, and we want to help you. So we know your experience and know some of the challenges that come with being a teacher. And so we strive to serve those needs with our programming and with the services that we offer. Part of that is helping teachers find funding. And of the 350 plus schools that we have our programs implemented in, we've helped roughly 90% get funding. And now we're able to offer grants. So we're really excited about that. These grants will fund 71 to 80% of your garden programs. And so just to give you some background about the problems we're addressing, which I'm sure you may be familiar with in your own experience, but here are some studies and some statistics. So in 2019, only 37% of fourth grade, 22% of eighth grade, and 18% of 12th grade students in the US were proficient in science. In the US, the percentage of children and adolescents affected by obesity has more than tripled since the 70s. And over 80% of the US population lives in an urban area, limiting their contact with nature. So why do these problems exist? We found that there's a lack of teacher training in STEM, nutrition, and conservation concepts. This study found that only 28% of elementary school teachers feel very prepared to teach science. And I just want to preface these before I continue with, this is general. We know that it's not a blanket application or like blanket statement for all teachers, but this is just in general, the general trends. There's also tends to be a lack of time teachers spend teaching STEM, nutrition, and conservation. Teachers have a lack of resources to teach STEM, nutrition, and conservation. And this one I found particularly interesting. A study from University of Michigan found that student interest in science dropped dramatically from 5th to 8th grade, and 2/3 of students lost interest in science entirely by the time they reached high school. So we address these problems with our garden programs. And so our garden programs, specifically the outdoor STEM program and our GardenConnect STEM program, they're a tool to engage students and spark their curiosity. They're turnkey and easy to launch, especially since so many teachers have so little time to implement extra programs to make their the educational experience for their students even better, as much as they are passionate about it. These programs provide resources, including a full curriculum, video lessons, trainings, and expert support from our team. They teach nutrition and foster healthy eating habits. They connect students to nature and promote environmental consciousness. And they work. 93% of teachers would highly recommend our garden programs to their colleagues. And students love them. This is a really cute video of our programming at Bonner Elementary in Las Vegas of our hydroponics program. So I'll play this real quick if you can't hear it.
I'm not hearing any audio, or it's really spotty.
You say it's spotty?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder. I'm going to try with my headphones. Do you know the best way to do this, Chris? Sorry, you're on mute.
Let's see. Can you actually, well, I don't know if it's in your presentation, it should. Are you optimized in your audio for when you shared? Did you say share with
Share with audio. Oh, I said share with my headphones audio. So maybe that.
Share with computer audio, yeah, or whatever it says, share with.
Okay, let's see.
So I think you have to stop sharing and then restart.
Okay. Stop share.
Mhm.
Sorry about that, everyone. This video is worth it though.
It's totally worth it.
Okay. This one. Oh wait, no, this one. Okay. Is that good?
No, I don't hear. Darn.
Bummer. Well, this presentation will be shared in the follow-up email that you all receive. And so I definitely recommend watching it. It's kids reacting to their experience with their hydroponics program at Bonner Elementary. So yeah, I'll let you all watch that in your own
Oh
time.
yeah, Cassie was saying, you might have to disconnect your headphones. Do you want to try it to do it that way?
That's what I did the first time.
Oh, okay.
Do you want me to try to share? Last test, try.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
That
Let's
works.
see. Okay. Mhm.
Yeah, so these guys, the video was taken the day that, so this is a garden club. So these are 3rd through 5th graders, and they were getting ready for a farmer's market. So they were doing a big harvest of their unit, and this was their first round. This was their first crop that they had grown.
Am I sharing my screen or not?
Yeah, you just need to go into presentation mode and then.
Okay, let me see. Can you see this? Oh, because I can't see it.
Plants need soil.
Can you hear it?
And the
Yep.
hydroponics system, it didn't use any soil, which was like really surprising to me.
Well, it's still struggling.
They're growing basil, onions. We grew some kale. We're growing avocado pits, onions, and garlic.
All you need is rock wool to be placed into the water, and that water has all the nutrients and all the food for the plant that it needs to grow.
You're able to learn about all the things that you do to take care of it, and all the different tools you use, like the lights that are kind of like acting like the sun. I think the best thing about hydroponics system is that it's kind of like science, and I think that's really cool. Science and plants mixed together. I think that's cool. What surprised me was how fast it grew. The first time they were just little seeds, and then like 2 or 3 weeks later, they were like huge. They grow faster than any plants I've ever seen. All they really needed was just water and sunlight, and they grew like. The first week that we did it, like we planted them, and like they were like this small, like they hadn't even grown yet. I would see them once and then see them again, and they'd be like 10 times bigger than the first time. 2 weeks later, I come back, and it's like really like big, and it's like really surprising and mind-blowing. There is one thing that surprised me, how it grows without soil. I would love to try it at home because the smells and how quick the plants grow, so like we wouldn't have to go shopping as often. I'd like to do that at home because I feel like my whole family would like doing it, and it'd be really fun for all of us. My family loves fresh food, not just from going to the store and buying some. I would like it from my garden. I have a huge garden full of plants. I really want to try it at home, and my mom came to one of the meetings and she wants to try it at home too, and it just seems cool to do it at home, school, anything.
The best thing about learning hydroponics is to eat the food that you make.
Hey, thanks, Gabby.
You're welcome.
So now Chris is going to tell you a little bit more about the
Plants
program.
need soil.
Oh,
basically.
sorry,
And the
that's me.
Now I'll play.
No worries.
Sorry.
Yeah, so our school hydroponics program, just a really great program that I think you just really will love. This is our 5.0 program. So we have a K through 5 program. However, this program is in middle schools and high schools. So it works for everyone. This year, we are starting with 20 hydroponic systems. So that's a brand new thing for us. It has been just in the past 6 systems, but this year we're going to be able to put in 20 hydroponic systems in each school. There is a K through 5 curriculum. It includes STEM, health and nutrition, and conservation lessons. There are 14 lessons per grade level. And like I said, we do use this in middle and high as well. So teachers just sort of adapt and use it that way. We do 3 workshops that are included in the package. And then also we make available a 15-hour PDE teacher training as well. There are video tutorials and STEM video lessons available in the Virtual Academy, which is just a great resource for you. We have a hydroponics manual and other teacher resources as well. It includes all of the hydroponic startup supplies that you need for your systems, and you get coordinator support for a year. So anything that's hanging you up, you can let us know. We're not going to just leave you on your own to figure it out. So to speak a little bit more to the 20 units that we'll be working with this year. So the first is a commercial unit, like the one that's on would be the left of the screen there. It is capable of growing 216 plants at a time. It is a great system, easy to set up and easy to run. Then we are expanding this year to a 19 12 pod deep water culture unit. So similar to the one that's right there on the screen. So what this will do is these can be set up in less than 30 minutes in in 20 class or 19 classrooms in your school. So teachers can use those. They sit just on a tabletop or something like that, and you can grow 12 plants at a time. It's great. So 20 classrooms total, growing over 400 plants.
It's a full operation.
Yes,
and then, yeah, just a farm, can run a farm business going on in your school. And then Gabby will tell you a little bit about the GardenConnect program.
Sure. So the GardenConnect program will provide you with a Greener Planet coordinator who will help you organize a school garden team with the teachers that are willing to join and step into the garden. And this coordinator will meet monthly with your school, and we provide all the resources for you to make sure you have a successful program throughout the year. We will help you create a vision for your school garden and come up with goals that you will want to accomplish throughout the school year. This program also will include access to the pre-K through 5 STEM work accredited curriculum, which includes 8 STEM lessons and 2 health and 2 conservation lessons for your students. Access to the virtual academy lessons and the garden tutorials. The difference is the video STEM lessons from the virtual academy are connected to the curriculum. So the same lessons you have in the curriculum have been turned into videos with our farmers. So teachers use these videos as, like pre-listening activities before the lessons that they do in the garden, or they use it throughout the week, divided in parts if you want. There's different ways you can use these videos, but they have been very helpful. And then we have the garden tutorials, which are farmers showing you how to use the garden, and any questions that you have regarding the garden maintenance or harvesting, you can find them there in the virtual academy. We also have the school garden manual for the teachers, which has all the information needed throughout the year. With any questions that you have, you will always have your coordinator there to support you anytime. And also the school garden manual has all the information that you will need. And also the coordinators will be sharing with you throughout the year the teacher trainings that we have available, any workshops that come up, and as events. For example, if you're here in Vegas, we have our Giant Students Farmers Markets, but the coordinator can also support you in how to organize your own markets at your schools if you're not in Vegas, or if you're in Vegas too. We have schools that do both things, and it's amazing. So that's part of what we do.
Awesome. Thanks, Gabby. And so Gabby started, it's a perfect segue, started talking about the farmers markets that we offer, or that we will support you in. And that's through our financial literacy program. And we call it the Farmpreneur program, because we basically use the school gardens and helps or trains students to turn their gardens into a business at the farmers market. And so through the financial literacy program, students learn real life skills and become financially fit citizens. We have a standards aligned financial literacy curriculum. And so that paired with volunteer bankers in your local area, teach students to market and sell their garden produce at a farmer's market, either one at your school, or if you are located in Vegas, we host a giant student farmers market with many of our programs locally. So this year on Earth Day, we had one in downtown Summerlin, and that featured almost 50 schools and 500 students, and they were all selling their produce and garden products. And yep, that covers the last point there. And our financial literacy program culminates in the school organized or Green Our Planet organized farmers market.
All right, so the curriculum, again, this is a K-5 curriculum. However, lots of teachers who teach in middle school and high school can use this. Also, special ed teachers can use it and adapt it for their students. It was created by a cadre of Clark County School District teachers, along with our hydroponics experts a couple of years ago. It is aligned to next generation science standards, and it is accredited by STEMworks. And we do have in development a middle school and high school curriculum. Those will be slated to be released in the next school year. So 2023-24 school year, we will have middle school and high school. At this time, we have the financial literacy curriculum, and we also have a health curriculum for middle and high as well. Kind of a companion piece to our curriculum is our culturally responsive hydroponics curriculum framework. And this was just developed this year. It has been in pilot over the summer or over the spring. And what this does is it enables all students to learn about hydroponics through their own culture, their heritage, and their local geographic conditions. And it is designed to encourage teachers to create cross-curricular lessons through the lens of students' diverse cultural backgrounds. One of the reasons that we developed this framework is that we looked into our curriculum and we understand that it's a very STEM-oriented curriculum. It doesn't speak a lot to cultural concerns and different ways of learning and knowing and being. And so we wanted to develop something that kind of broadened the scope a little bit. And it was developed with a group of educators from New Mexico.
Mm-hmm. And so the PK-5 outdoor STEM curriculum has all the same credentials as the hydroponics curriculum. So it's created by a cadre of teachers that we work with, and it's aligned to the same next generation science standards and accredited by STEMworks. And we do have a middle school and high school curricula in development. And something to note though, I don't know, are any of you teachers in middle school or middle school or high school teachers? No. All right. So not super applicable to you all,
yes.
but oh
yes,
yes.
Sorry, I'm representing a parent and I'm on my phone, so I can't see the PowerPoint. Or I'm representing a middle school. I'm a parent volunteer. I just, I wanted to sit in and inform our science teachers in our middle school. My name is Melissa.
Nice to meet you, Melissa. Thanks for speaking up. And you'll get this presentation afterwards in the follow-up email.
Oh,
thanks for joining.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
And so for you, one thing to note is that although the middle school and high school curricula won't be ready until the next school year, we do have a number of schools, of high schools and middle schools, that do have our program, and they just adapt the K-5 curricula to the learning level of the higher grade levels. So it's definitely adaptable. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no problem.
All right, so now I get to talk about one of my favorite topics. This is one of our projects that we started working in a village in Alaska called Veggie. This started in 2019, and Veggie is about 60 miles north of the Arctic Circle. And so back in 2019, we had a teacher teaching up there who wanted to do a couple of things. One, he wanted to bring really effective STEM teaching to his school. a school of, I think they have fewer than 40 students in their school. But he wanted to bring really solid STEM education up there. And he also wanted to provide a way to get fresh food to the village. So there obviously is a very short growing season in Alaska, up that far. And so most of the year they have their produce gets flown in by bush plane. And by the time it makes it to their village, it's frozen or in bad shape and is very expensive. So you might get a kind of half freezer burned head of lettuce for like $9 or something like that. So it's a very, just a really untenable situation. So they put in their program, expanded it a bit even. He bought a few extra of the larger systems. And now the students there feed their entire village fresh fruits and vegetables year round. So a super, super great story. And I think really points to the idea of, this goes a lot of ways. It works for STEM teaching and all of those things, but it also is a great way to involve your community in healthy eating.
Mm-hmm. It's one of my favorite stories too. So moving on to teacher training. The teacher trainings that we offer have proven to be very effective. And these are our survey results from both the workshops and the added teacher trainings that we offer. If you wanted to dive deeper into your garden knowledge or how to incorporate your garden into your classroom and use that as a teaching tool. And from our surveys, we found that 97% of attendees would recommend the training to a fellow teacher. 92% came out feeling more confident teaching in the outdoor school garden, and 89% of attendees felt more confident teaching with hydroponics. So this is our virtual academy, and Chris and Gabby both mentioned our virtual academy. This is the online library of standards aligned video lessons in STEM, nutrition, conservation, and recently we added videos on our Farmpreneur program. So they help with teaching how to use your garden as a tool for teaching financial literacy. And as Gabby mentioned, these videos are used by our teachers right now in a couple of different ways. One, teachers just use it to go alongside our curriculum. Each lesson in the curricula is aligned with a video in the virtual academy. Then they also have and then some teachers also use it to prepare for lessons before they teach it to their students if they need to brush up on a certain topic that they haven't thought about or taught in a really long time. And then some send their students home with these lessons or with these videos as like homework. So there's a couple of different ways that you can use these. And we recently submitted our films in some film festivals, and they won in 2022 3 different awards. And they have almost 4 million student views. And we're very excited about that.
Also mentioned too, within the virtual academy there, we have all of our tutorials as well. So hydroponics, for example, you'll get full training on how to use the systems, but in the virtual academy, there are also tutorial videos that'll show you how to do all the things that we talk about in the training. So if you can't make it, you forget about it or whatever, you want to teach somebody else how to do it, those are there as well for you to use.
That's a really good point. Those are super useful.
Yeah.
So to sum it up, with these grants, we have 2 program options. We have the Hydroponics STEM program and its 5th edition, and then the GardenConnect STEM program. And the Hydroponics STEM program is normally $10,000, but with this grant, you can get it for $2,000. And I apologize that this keeps changing. But yeah, so it's 80% off with the Green Our Planet Garden Grant, and you can apply now through June 10th. For the GardenConnect STEM program, usually $3,500. You only have to pay $1,000 with this grant, and that's 71% off with this garden grant, also due on June 10th. So I'm going to do a quick overview of how to apply, and then we'll have about 10 minutes to get your questions answered. So eligibility. This grant is open to public, private, and charter schools located in the US. The applications are due on June 10th. We'll be reviewing them from June 10th through July 6th, and then we'll make our announcement on July 8th. The submission process, you may have seen that we have 2 Google Forms, one for each application. You can find those on our website on our homepage at greenerplanet.org, but I'll also be sending links in the follow-up email after this presentation. So what you need to apply for both applications, you'll need a signed letter of support from the administration. So that is a letter committing support for your garden project signed by your principal of your school, and of the school where the garden will live, and presented on your school or organization letterhead. And then for GardenConnect applications only, you'll need photos of the garden space and dimensions of the garden space. So for that, we'll need 3 digital photos of your garden or garden space. And if you include photos of the children you work with, please only upload photos of children for whom you have a photo release form signed by their parent or guardian. So a few things to note. Since this application is provided through a Google form, you'll be unable to save your progress once you've started. To support your application process, it's helpful to have all your answers prepared prior to filling out the form, just to prevent any problems there. We estimate it'll only take 40 to 60 minutes to complete. And each school is welcome and encouraged to apply for both programs. And to do so, you'll need to fill out both applications. So that was a lot of information, and we'll open the floor to you all to see if you have any questions.
Is there a financial, like, do you prefer Title I schools, or is it open for everybody?
It's open for everybody.
Okay, so they don't get any preference, because a lot of times we don't get grants based on our free and reduced lunch, unfortunately. So I just want to check that.
Yeah, that's a really good question, because one thing that we've noticed in our research is that the schools that are not Title I, but are also not quite in the like wealthy category, have the most trouble finding funding. So when we were discussing it, we were thinking that we would prioritize those schools, but we haven't finalized our grant rubric yet. So that is something that we have in mind, but we haven't finalized that yet.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
What is the size of the 19 like individual classroom units for the hydroponics?
Good question. So, and actually somebody else asked me about the size of the big unit too, so I'll cover that. So the big unit is right up here to my whatever side that would be for you guys, and it is a 2-layer. So it is about 3.5 by 4.5 by about 4 feet tall. It's about the size of a big piece of furniture. The reservoir sits underneath it, and it's all self-contained. It just needs 2 outlets, one for the lights and one for the pump. And it does not need to be plumbed in. You just fill the reservoir with buckets of water. So that's a pretty self-contained kind of thing. The smaller units are about the size of like a laptop. They're about probably maybe 2 feet long, maybe 18 inches by about 1 foot wide. And they have a little canopy, light canopy on the top. So they fit really nicely. Like I have one sitting next to my desk over on the floor over here. They sit on countertops and shelves. They'll go pretty much anywhere.
And now, is it 19 or is it 20? I thought it was 20 units.
So it's 20 units total. It's 19 of the little ones, one of the big ones.
Okay. And the big one you said is 3.5 by 4.5?
Yeah, about,
roughly?
Roughly.
There'd be one of those and then 19 of the 2 foot by 1 foot.
Yeah, the smaller ones. And kind of the idea behind that is that they're going to get into as many classrooms as possible, right? So, you know, the big one might be, you know, maybe one class wants to use it, maybe the 5th grade, for example. That's kind of designed. But it could also be in a common area. It could be in a STEM lab. You know, there's a lot of different ways to use it. But then those other smaller ones could go out into other classrooms.
Right. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like relieved to hear this. I was starting to panic a little bit. I was like, I don't have space in my school for.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. That's the design. That's the idea behind the design of the program.
Okay.
Get out into classrooms.
Can I ask a question?
Please.
I was curious. It said, it sounds like it's going to cultivate quite a bit of plants. It's really exciting that we get a lot of units, that you get even more units to offer. Are you looking for a specific size of school? My current enrollment right now is 217 students. So I'm concerned that that's not going to be big enough.
Don't worry about that. That's something I think, honestly, one of the things that we found by working with small schools is that this program can have a huge impact on a small school. And so, you know, I mean, it's the kind of thing, and frankly, the systems are yours. If you wanted to, you know, expand out, if there's a community organization in your, you know, in your community, maybe senior center, you know, you can bring other people into it. It's really up to you how you want to use them once it's yours. So yeah, I think it's a lot of opportunity there. So no, that would not be a hurdle for you.
That's good to hear. Another question that I had was in regards to if it was possible to maybe get some examples of goals and the metric measurements that they used for those, because I'm a little hung up on that. Because I have like a overall vision, I guess you would say. Like, I feel like my goal is very broad with the committee that I've gathered. We have a really beautiful goal that aligns awesome with your philosophies as a program, but trying to like look at how we're going to make that into measurements is really tricky.
I can imagine that. Yeah. Gabby, do you want to talk a little bit about goals as they pertain to the outdoor garden? And
hydro.
Are you thinking hydro? Okay. So hydro, really, so as far as with the hydroponics, we don't generally, it's not exactly the same as the outdoor garden. So the outdoor garden is more goal oriented. With us, what we're looking for is, I would say, being able to spread it throughout your school. That would be big. The idea of like, you know, what kinds of things do you want to teach? How do you want to engage your community? How do you want to engage your students? That's what we're really looking for. And as far as metrics are concerned, you know, how many plants do you want to grow? How many plant life cycles would you like to do?
Would you feel
know,
like
that kind of thing.
A survey that would, because I understand that it's annually, or not annual, quarterly, that we're reporting out. My interpretation of that was kind of doing more like a survey, creating a survey that allows us to see progression.
Yeah.
In interest and exposure to propagation, to interest in nutrition, that kind of thing, exposure to the kind of fruits and vegetables. I have a student who didn't know what a cucumber was. How heartbreaking.
Exactly. I mean, that's, yeah, exactly. I think that's definitely, you know, kids being more excited about eating vegetables, you know, being able to talk about science more often, those kinds of things. That's the kind of thing that we look for.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. We hear those types of stories all the time. That's just mind blowing. Don't know what a cucumber is, or don't know that potatoes come from the soil.
Yeah.
But it's pretty amazing to see when they do learn those things too through a school garden.
Definitely.
So Susanna Cassie has a question. What things does the school need to set up or purchase before you implement the Garden STEM program?
That's a good question. So Gabby may be able to elaborate on that, but basically what you'll need to have in place, and there's a question for this in the garden grant, which is basically just an acknowledgement that you'll have a garden in place by the time the program is launched in August or in the fall, whenever your school start date is. And so I would say just having a garden established and maybe some seedlings at the very least started. Gabby, do you know any other information on that one?
Not exactly for this program, but I understand that through this program, we can also support a little bit if you don't have a garden yet. Do you have a garden yet or not yet?
So we have like a courtyard that's in the middle of our school. I'm from Las Vegas. I'm a teacher in Las Vegas. And we have like a courtyard in the middle, and it has like dirt around the edge of it. So we were going to basically take, like, it's basically weeds now, but we were going to take everything out of it. And so we didn't know like exactly what to prepare for you guys and stuff, because I know a little bit about gardening, but I don't know a whole lot of information. So I'm kind of gonna be learning with the kids as we're learning. So I just didn't know like what you guys needed, so I can let my principal and my team know like this is what we need to get done over the summer.
Good question. I would say, Susanna, that this would be a Kim question, depending on what size it is. If you maybe can send us a picture and see what how it's looking right now, and if there's anything planted, or what would you like to have there in the courtyard? Because there's many different plants that it's going to be veggies. Do you have beds yet or not? Or if it, we have like pollinator gardens too, but I imagine that in this case, we would want to have some produce growing. So that would be maybe something that we can meet individually and discuss.
Yeah, I didn't know too, because I know you guys are saying you were stationed out of Vegas. Like if somebody could come look at it, like come to the school and actually look at it and like discuss. I just couldn't find like contact information. But like if somebody could just come see it and then just give like, this is what you need, and kind of go from there.
Definitely. And that is something that you just reminded me of. We do, if you are awarded this grant, so it sounds like you already have plots set up in a space for a garden. If you are awarded this grant, we do help you with the consultation of what you need to do to get your garden up and running to get this program started. And then the coordinator will help you evolve that afterwards. So if you're awarded this grant, we can definitely help out with that, whether it's a video chat or just a phone call, or if someone comes and visits. But yeah, we'll check with Kim, who's one of our CEOs, and he'll be able to give you more details on that.
Okay.
I'll just write your name down real quick. Cassie Wands. Is this your Zoom account?
Yeah, that's my name, or it might be under Cassandra for my full name, but yeah.
Okay.
What school are you in?
I'm at Don Hayden Elementary in North Las Vegas.
Awesome.
We have a lot of gardens in North Las Vegas. There's a lot up there.
Well, my principal was a part of one last year at our old school, and then she wanted to implement one here and start one here. So she kind of got a couple of us together to do the process and stuff for it.
Cool. Which school was she at?
I don't remember off the top of my head. There's too many schools in Las Vegas.
I said, there's a bunch. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Unfair question. Sorry.
It's okay.
So what'd you say your school was named?
Don Hayden Elementary.
Don Hayden. Is that Hayden?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. I took a note to ask him about that one.
Thank you.
I was also curious in regards to the hydroponics. What is the annual or monthly cost to run the hydroponic units?
Good question. So it depends a lot on how many systems you're running and how often, so like if you're running them the whole time, you're going to incur some, extra costs, but less than $500 a year, probably more on the order of $100 to $200 a year. What you're going to be replacing would be the planting pods. So they're these little cubes that you plant the seeds in, your seeds, and then some nutrients every so often, that kind of thing. But otherwise, not a lot of cost otherwise. Okay. And a lot of times, the good news is a lot of times you can get seeds donated, that kind of thing. So, pretty easy.
And my other question was, I was super intrigued about the financial literacy curriculum. Is that a separate entity of the hydroponic grants?
So it's focused mostly in 5th grade. And so in the 5th grade curriculum it's very heavy on that part of it. So the students actually go through and like design they come up with a business plan and everything there. So it's already built into the 5th grade hydroponics curriculum.
Okay.
And then it can be expanded, to whatever grade level she wanted to use.
Gotcha. And my other question I had, and I'm sorry to make this a little bit more personalized, but our school district has created K through 4th is elementary now, and then it's K6 and then a 7th, 8th. So we would be technically serving K through 4th. However, I'm part of a intentional program that's Reggio Emilio influenced. So we're really focusing on conservation. We're really working on multi-language ability with the students of accessing different facets of learning. But so I hear when you brought that up, I was like, oh my goodness, that would be something. A lot of my students are kind of exceeding that fourth grade. Are, if you will. So I feel like we would still be able to utilize a lot of that fifth grade material.
Oh yeah.
In that capacity. I didn't know if that was going to be an issue with the grant either.
No, it's fine. We do. It's once these materials get into schools, there are so many ways that schools do it, you know, like they're always tailored in some way to the way that the school operates. And that's not a problem for us at all. We actually like to learn about it and find out what people are doing with it. It's really interesting to find out, you know, how schools actually use it. So absolutely, no, that's not a problem at all.
Okay.
And also speaking to your idea too, that I think that the framework, the culturally responsive framework could be really helpful there too, because it's not just about culture, but it's also just about interest and what, you know, how students learn and that kind of thing. So there's a lot of different kind of aspects to it and resources there too. That'll be really helpful.
And what really spoke to me in that is we have a large refugee family population, and our district serves as well. And I was just thinking like, oh, I wonder what kind of fruits or vegetables we could possibly grow that would be difficult to grow here in Michigan, which a lot is difficult to grow in Michigan, like 8 months out of the year.
That's a great idea. Yeah. Growing foods that are culturally specific to your students' backgrounds.
It's huge. Yeah, it's a great opportunity. Yeah.
And we also have the nutrition lessons in the virtual academy videos. You have tons of recipes that you can share with the families and
perfect
for the kids to learn how to do them as well. So
Yeah.
I love Reggio Emilia. I was a teacher for Reggio Emilia for like 4 years.
It's amazing, right?
It's amazing. Yeah. So I'm really happy. I hope you work with us because it would be very interesting to learn how you would use the program.
Yeah.
That's a cool connection. Well, we have come up on 45 minutes, 46 now, but I'll just throw it out there. Is there any last minute lingering questions before we sign off? All right. Okay. Perfect. And perfect timing then too. Yeah. Thank you all so much for coming and for having such thoughtful questions and for, you know, being attentive the entire time. We really appreciate it. And if you have any other questions, you can feel free to, 1 second, we have a slide for this. You can feel free to check out our School Garden Grants fact page. There's a little bit of some like specific questions that might come up later that you can check there first. But if you have anything else, then you can email applications@greenourplanet.org. And then you can look out for updates on social media and via email.
And you said that this the slideshow that was this presentation will be made accessible to us as well?
In the follow-up email, there's a link to this presentation. And so that'll come, I think, in about an hour.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right, thanks again, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Looking forward to reading your applications.
Thank you. Nice meeting you all.
Bye.
Bye.
I'll stop recording before we celebrate.